Hi, and welcome to Lines on Design. Whoa, we have a fun show for you today. Who knew that there was so much to talk about? Well, I know with you. With HVAC, we're talking about zones. Dick Foster, thank you for joining us. Dave Miller, thank you for joining us. I'm really excited to have my friend Jenny Lockhart here. We're actually at your home. It's absolutely lovely. And we had the opportunity to kind of talk about houses, transitions. It's a new season, and you and I were talking about HVAC systems, and it's a small world. So we thought it might be fun to actually share with everyone how important heating, air conditioning, and zones really are. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
It's cool, isn't it?
Who knew we'd be this excited to talk about it, but we are, yeah.
You know what? We're not excited to talk about it until our HVAC doesn't work.
That's right.
And I've talked to you a million times about that. So let's talk if we can. Tell me a little bit about your home and what you all did, because it's pretty cool.
Well, we had our air conditioning unit was almost 20 years old. It was 115 degrees out every day, so it was starting to fail. And when Dave came in, you know, we basically needed a whole overhaul. And he can describe it better than I can of all the things that were wrong. But
Superior HVAC, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you for that plug.
Yes, please. So
it's important. The yellow vans are everywhere.
I saw one this morning.
I did too.
I saw one this morning, and I feel like they're my family because they did such an amazing job, and they were, you know, and it's a big deal to have people come into your home.
It is.
And when you have to have a complete overhaul, I mean, they had to get knee deep in the crevices of our home, and you would never know they were here. They were so professional, so polite. And just did a phenomenal job.
Let me ask you both, and then we're going to talk about the zones too.
Zones are huge.
Zones are huge. Talk to us a little bit when a client comes to you, like Jen. What are some of the questions that you ask? I mean, is it lifestyle?
Exactly. Ask them how they like to live as far as temperature in the house.
Okay.
We ask them if they have cold or hot spots within the house. Things that if we're going to go this far into it, that we may be able to address and fix. A lot of people are under the impression that they've lived in their house for a while and that it's just the way it is.
Yes,
and they don't think it can be fixed
Right.
or anything done about it, where we can do just about anything.
Talk to me, Dick, if you will, about the zones, because as we were kind of prepping for everything, and I'm saying, zones, help me understand. It literally is like a light bulb goes off, and now I'm kind of jealous, actually.
You should be jealous
I know.
of my zones. My zones are incredible now.
Zones?
They have fixed my zones up like you can't believe.
I want zones.
Zoning's a very simple concept. As I said, you have a light switch in every room of your house.
Correct.
But in many homes, you only have one thermostat for the entire house. So you wouldn't think of turning your lights on and off with one switch. But with our heating and air conditioning, everybody comes in, one thermostat turns it on everywhere, whether it's needed or not. So that can be expensive. Your heating and air conditioning cost of your utility bill, typically, especially during the summer, can be 70% of your utility bill. So why cool rooms or heat rooms that you're not even occupying? So shut those rooms off. You know, if you have kids, you have young kids, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're always running around turning off the light switch. You know,
Right.
I'm not the utility company, as we all grew up, you know, Father, turn off those lights, you know?
Exactly.
And again, with heating and air conditioning, think about today's cars. You even have individual driver and passenger temperature control. Now, I'm not going to be sexist here, but women are always a little too cold.
Right.
Men are always too hot. So, you know, you can set your temperature on one side of the car. I can set my temperature on the other side. Again, throughout the house, you always have rooms that are too hot or too cold.
Okay.
Warm air rises, cold air falls. That's a natural fact. And so that's the way we can solve it by putting dampers in the ductwork that open and close.
Okay.
Direct the flow of the air conditioning only to the rooms you're occupying.
So, Dave, you sort of did a collaborative thing then. With Jen's house specifically, what did you all do? Because I want to make sure we get in the solar piece of it too, because that's huge.
Sure. We did quite a lot of things. The gist of it is they had two air conditioners, one doing the upstairs, one doing the downstairs.
Okay.
They did some remodeling in the house and did some spray foaming, some better insulation and sealing. So we decided that we didn't need as much air conditioning. So we took both old units out, put in one system. And then that's where the zones come into play.
Okay.
Because we still have an upstairs and a downstairs that we want to condition. So what we end up doing is having zones for the upstairs, one for the downstairs.
Okay, wait, zones for the upstairs, that makes sense. Zones for the downstairs.
And then zone for the master bedroom, so that you can shut the main house off maybe at night and have just the master and the upstairs running, or while the kids are at school, the upstairs can be set back so it's not cooling or heating when nobody's here, and allows us to get away with one piece of equipment versus two. Then we added to that by putting in,
okay.
well, twofold here. We added to it a modulating outdoor unit. So what this means is when she had their air conditioner before, it was either on, cooling at 100%,
okay.
or off. So we put a modulating outdoor unit in, and it senses what's going on in the house. So if we have company today, we might, if it was hot, we might even have more cooling load or need more cooling.
Okay, all right.
Because of the people in the house. The thermostat knows that, and it ramps the outdoor unit up and down in capacity and size. So we take this one large outdoor unit, and we may only need, say, 1 ton of air conditioning or 10% of the cooling capacity. That's all it's going to give us. And that's where we get our energy savings.
Right.
Then it just
my gosh.
ramps up as you need it and only when you need it. So, because when we size an air conditioner, we're sizing it for the hottest time of the
Right.
year.
Okay.
And so the rest of the year, it's usually oversized. Doing it this way, we're actually getting the smaller capacity of it. And when we're smaller capacity means less amp draw, which means less energy, which
Lower
means
bills.
lower power bill.
Right.
Which is what we talked about with the zones
Exactly.
also.
Right.
Solar piece.
Sure. Yep. Then we added to it. We put a solar thermal panel on the roof. Does not generate electricity.
Well, we actually did a show on that. It's absolutely
I did.
fascinating.
It was
It's
great.
a wave
I think
of
it
the
got
future.
5 stars. People were
Yes.
talking about it. They tweeting. It was crazy.
Yeah. So, no,
It's
it
a good
really
time.
is amazing. I know.
Yeah. No. So yeah, we added a solar panel, and what we end up doing with that is we then, by heating up the refrigerant, we send refrigerant to the solar panel. No
Okay, well,
electric.
we send refrigerant to the solar panel.
Yep. And
Okay.
what we end up doing there is just adding temperature to the refrigerant. By doing that, we only have to raise it like 10 or 15 degrees. Once we raise that temperature of the refrigerant, we're doing the work of the outdoor unit, essentially. And so we can now keep that outdoor unit that ramps up and down.
Yes.
We can keep it at even lower speeds
Right.
while getting more air conditioning capacity out
It's
of it.
incredible.
Did you notice a difference in your?
The difference is unbelievable. I mean, I didn't
And you've got
expect to
kids,
notice
you've
the
got
difference.
little
Right.
kids, yeah.
We haven't touched our thermostat every day before, up and down, right? Because the upstairs, it was either blowing freezing cold or it'd be stuffy and hot, and there was no in between. Downstairs was the same. We manipulated it manually all day long, every day. And now I haven't touched the thermostat since they did the installation.
Is there a learning curve that goes with putting in a new system? Again, just listening to what you all did, I mean, this is not just come in, we're going to get an air conditioning, boom, we're done. I mean, how did all that work with you guys?
It was like elves came in the night. It was, because they would come early in the morning, they were upstairs, they didn't mess up anything, they didn't touch anything. It was cleaner than, after they finished than before they got here.
You told me they vacuumed.
They did. Like, you would have
Look,
never
look,
known.
You're
And
like, I'm talking about
it was
solar panels.
unbelievable. No, but as a homeowner, that matters. I don't want someone coming and stepping in my garden beds and
That's
messing
right.
up my house and giving me more work to do, more stuff to clean up. I've got kids. They were so respectful of our time, of our family's schedule. I mean, one guy stayed until 7, 8 o'clock at night one time to make sure it cooled before we put the kids to bed. Like, just so respectful and professional.
Well,
It was amazing.
that brings up another question for me, and that is from a maintenance point of view.
There's not a whole lot of
I was gonna
maintenance.
say, what
He's
maintenance?
like, I got
mean,
nothing.
it's
We
Yeah.
just
perfect.
changed
Yeah.
we added a filtration system to the house that'll, we'll change the filter every 3-4 months, and then it's got other filters that we change once or twice a year. So not a whole lot of maintenance. The solar panels, no maintenance. They just sit there and collect heat, so you don't have to worry about anything there.
From a zoning point of view, do you come and just make sure everything's working with that, or it is what it is?
Well, it is what it is. Our dampers will work basically virtually a lifetime. And
Okay.
those are the moving parts in our system at that point. But again, having yearly maintenance with a HVAC contractor
Got
who
it.
comes in and checks refrigerant levels, making sure there's no leaks, changing the filters, cleaning the system, the coil with pollen and things like that, making sure it's efficient. And you take your car in for service every so often, but how many people actually service their air conditioner?
Well, that's one thing I've
yearly?
learned from Dave more than anything is a little bit of prevention, a little bit of maintenance
Huge,
can
yeah.
save
Goes a long way.
huge. I mean, it really does. It's really interesting to kind of have all of us talking together. I think it's been really insightful. I love takeaways.
Right.
And I mean,
Well,
from any
let's
show.
make this takeaway be
Okay.
that we were able to reduce their energy bill
Yeah.
by between 30 and 40%, depending on the time of the year and usage.
You're
so that needs to
brilliant.
be the takeaway. I'm not going to toot my
And the
horn too
comfort,
often.
no, the
but-
comfort
And the
level
comfort
is
level, you're
yeah.
getting both.
consistent. Amazing comfort, ease of use, and then a savings.
So we're all about 2 takeaways. I really appreciate you all coming. Stay with us. There's more to come here on Lines on Design.